If you're looking to improve your aim, then make sure to check out Control Freak and use the code OGXRAYZ to get 10% off all the products. Link in the description below. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another video. So we have 3 stories I wanted to go through. We've got Nintendo Switch doing insane right now still, despite the next generation consoles. We've got some stories on the PlayStation 5 outselling the Xbox One, at least in France, which is actually kind of crazy at really crazy numbers, or I should say the Xbox Series X. And then finally, let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Despite its rocky launch, it looks like it's actually paid off for the people over at CD Projekt Red. So let's go ahead and jump into it. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss a single upload. And if you guys want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my sponsors, Control Freak and Scuff. I use them every day when I'm playing. Code OGXRAYZ gets you a discount over there, or by checking out my Amazon influencer page if you would much rather do it that way. With that said, let's jump into it. So first story we're going to talk about is Nintendo Switch. So it's actually, it's the best-selling console in November in the US despite next-gen sales, which is actually kind of crazy. It sold 1.35 million units, reaching nearly 7 million year to date, which is actually kind of crazy. Obviously, Black Friday and all that stuff, and they probably have a bigger stock anyways than the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, but it's still pretty crazy to see Nintendo doing this well. And if they release a new, more powerful version of the Switch next year, they're gonna be like swimming in money, more than they already are right now. So the article over on GameIndustry.biz, I'll link all of my sources down below as always. It says, despite the launches of both the Xbox Series X/S and the PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch was the best-selling console in the US for the month of November. This makes 24 consecutive months that the Nintendo Switch has sold the most of any console in the US, according to a press release from Nintendo sharing data from the MPD group. The Switch and Switch Lite combined total sales were 1.35 million units in the US during November, which included Black Friday weekend. This is nearly twice as many units as were sold last month. So Black Friday really treated Nintendo well. Both the Xbox Series X console and PS5 suffered from supply constraints over the course of their pre-order and launch month periods. For the full year, the Nintendo Switch has sold 6.92 million units in the US so far, already more than they were sold in 2019, and with one month in the calendar year remaining. As of Nintendo's latest H1 results, the Switch has sold 68.3 million units lifetime year to date globally, with Nintendo projecting it to sell 24 million units worldwide in the fiscal 2024 year ending on March 31st, 2021. So, pretty crazy. I kind of want to know what the actual numbers were for the Xbox Series X /S and also the PlayStation 5, but Nintendo has been dominating the console game, especially over this whole course of the pandemic. I think people have been buying more Nintendo Switches than any other console for the fact that it has a lot of lighthearted games that you can play. So if you're not really a gamer, it's easier for you to get into gaming with a Nintendo console than a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One X, whichever you were using pre-next gen. So it kind of makes sense that their sales would skyrocket. And even in November, Black Friday deals going on and limited stock for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So I think that once there's more stock going on, there's going to be a lot more competition. But I think that Nintendo really isn't competing either way against the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. If you're a casual gamer getting into gaming, a $300 console or $200, depending on if you're going light, is a lot easier to swallow than a $500 or $400 or maybe even the Xbox Series S. We're gonna have to see that one. That one might be another one that's interesting to see how the sales go on, considering it costs about as much as the Nintendo Switch. So cool stuff. With that said, let's jump into our next article. This was actually the Cyberpunk 2077. After 8 years of development, Cyberpunk 2077 made a profit on day one, which is actually kind of crazy. So we're just going to kind of skim through this one again. If you want to see the full thing, check it out. But it says, after years of development, or 8 years, Cyberpunk 2077 finally went out the door yesterday, December 10th. It wasn't in the tip-top technical shape at launch. Obviously, we talked about this. There's so many issues. Last gen, literally unplayable. I feel bad for people who bought this game on PS4 and Xbox One because it's rough out there, people. It is rough. But it says CD Projekt Red said today that the pre-orders alone were enough to earn back its development and marketing costs, which, god damn, this thing was developing for 8 years, and they made enough money alone from the pre-orders to basically pay off all of that. So they are in the green. They're no longer in the red. I'm happy for them. I mean, these games take forever to make, and they had so many setbacks, so many delays. So good for them. I hope they fix the state of the game. I heard it's not really that great on PC. and that literally the best way to play it, or best way to play it on PC, or by playing the last gen versions on next gen consoles, which is interesting. Okay, but that's just how it works. Good for them, they made their money, and hopefully they support this game in the long run and really get this game to run as smoothly as it can on any platform, regardless of where you're playing it on. I personally have not been able to play this game just yet, just because I've been so busy with other stuff and recording other stuff and working on other stuff. So I don't think I'm gonna have a let's play of it, but once I get to it, I'm gonna see if it's as good as people say it is or as bad as people say it is. It's like very polarizing. With that said, let's jump into our final story, guys. This is kind of cool. The PlayStation 5 apparently in France, and maybe this is indicative of the bigger region worldwide, but and maybe not, obviously, because there's some places like Japan where the Xbox just sells horribly, and I think it's mostly because it's an American company, and Japan, I don't know, maybe it's just if you're Japanese, are a little more loyal to Sony and Nintendo because they're based in Japan. So we'll have to wait and see on that, but obviously that's an outlier. But France, interesting, and I think in general the Xbox Series X is not selling as well as the PlayStation 5. I don't know if that's has to do also with like the actual stock that they have, like back stock. But anyways, according to this article, which is being translated here on Google Translate, thank you Google Translate, probably for a terrible translation here, but the main story here, it looks like in France the PlayStation 5 outsold the Xbox Series X 4-1. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know if the numbers before this, like how is the PS4 compared to the Xbox One doing in France, you know, at the same time, at this same juncture, but either way, 4-1. Microsoft probably not too happy about that. Either way, you know, I've been playing my PlayStation 5 more than my Xbox Series X, mostly because all the games that I play are on PlayStation 5. All the games I want to play, like Spider-Man, like God of War that I'm actually playing through right now as well. All of the games that I want to play, even Call of Duty, are all on PlayStation 5. I'm playing them on PlayStation 5 and not really on Xbox Series X. So my Xbox Series X is sitting there. There's a ton of games on Game Pass that I'm going to eventually make my way through, but there's not a lot of those exclusive must-play games that you have to play right now on the Xbox Series X. So it's kind of understandable. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really a PlayStation or a Sony. If I had to be a fanboy, I'm probably a Nintendo fanboy more than anything. So that's just how it looks like from the outside looking at least from my perspective, that there's just more games on the PlayStation 5 that I want to play right now than there is. I'm definitely going to play my Xbox Series X down the line, probably more because of all those games I can get with Game Pass. But for now, I'm really enjoying my PlayStation 5. But yeah, guys, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys found the video informative and entertaining. If you did, drop a like, guys, super appreciated. If you're new, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. And if you guys want to support the channel directly, then check out my sponsors, Control Freak and Scuff. I use them every day when I'm playing. Code OGXRAYZ gets you a discount, or over on my Amazon influencer page if you would much rather do it that way. Go ahead and give me a follow over on Twitter at OGXRAYZ if you guys want to interact with me live, say what's up, or over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TheOGXRAYZ. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. I'm sorry about the banging. I don't know what the hell's going on. Just starting right now. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.